Power Platform Security: How to Lock Down Low-Code Environments in 7 Steps. Hey, welcome. In this video, we're breaking down Power Platform Security: How to Lock Down Low-Code Environments in 7 Steps. Let's get into it. Now, moving on to what is Power Platform Governance and why does it matter now? Power Platform Governance is the set of policies, processes, and technical controls that define who can build what, where data can travel, and how apps move from development to production inside Microsoft Power Platform. It covers Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, and the Dataverse layer that connects them. Without governance, each of these tools is a potential data leak. A connector in a Power Automate flow can route sensitive records to a personal Dropbox. A Power Apps Canvas app built on SharePoint can be shared company-wide by a well-meaning employee who never checked data classification. These are not edge cases. They happen weekly in organizations without clear guardrails. Traditional software development has natural choke points: code reviews, pull requests, deployment pipelines. Low-code skips most of them. A citizen developer can go from idea to production app in a day. And in many organizations, no review process exists to catch what was built or who can access it. Now, next up, Step 1: Map your environment strategy before you build anything. The first decision in any Power Platform governance program is how to structure your environments. Microsoft provides a default environment that every user in your tenant can access automatically. That is convenient and dangerous. A mature environment strategy uses 4 tiers. Power Platform ALM depends entirely on getting this structure right. If production apps are built directly in the default environment, you have already lost control of deployment governance. Next up, moving on to Step 2, configure DLP policies that block the right connectors. Data loss prevention policies are the core technical control in Power Platform governance. They define which connectors can be used together in a single app or flow. A connector classified as a business tier connector can only connect to other business tier connectors. Connecting it to a non-business personal storage service becomes technically impossible once the policy is applied. The exact list differs by industry, but these connector categories should sit in the blocked tier in most regulated environments. For organizations doing Power Pages development for external users, DLP policies need an additional layer. Connectors used in Power Pages must be reviewed against both internal governance rules and external data exposure risk. A connector approved for internal automation may not be appropriate for a publicly accessible portal. Now, moving on to Step 3, build a citizen developer governance program. Citizen developer governance is not only a technical problem. The human side matters equally. A governance program defines what Power users can build, what training they need before publishing apps, and who reviews their work before broader access is granted. A practical program uses 3 tiers. This structure gives citizen developers room to build while keeping guardrails in place. Without it, organizations either lock everyone out and kill productivity, or let everyone in and create a compliance gap. Next up, Step 4, implement Power Platform ALM pipelines. Power Platform ALM is the process that moves apps from development through testing to production in a controlled, auditable way. Without it, governance breaks down at deployment. An app built in a sandbox gets shared informally, becomes business critical, and is now running in an unmanaged environment with no backup and no change history. ALM for Power Platform centers on 3 practices. Microsoft's Power Platform Pipelines feature, available natively in premium licensing and through the COE toolkit, handles much of this without requiring custom Azure DevOps work. Let's talk about Step 5, identify and contain shadow IT in your Power Platform environment. Shadow IT in Power Platform is more specific than the general shadow IT problem. It is not just unauthorized apps. It is apps built on the wrong connectors, flows that route data to unapproved destinations, and entire environments created by department heads who bypassed IT because they needed something fast. Anyone with a Microsoft 365 license has access to Power Apps and Power Automate. That means your marketing team may have built a dozen flows connecting your CRM to personal Google Sheets without IT ever seeing them. Shadow IT in Power Platform spreads silently through the default environment in personal M365 subscriptions, and it compounds over time. The Power Platform Center of Excellence Toolkit includes an inventory component that scans your entire tenant and surfaces every app, flow, and connector in use. Running this audit for the first time is usually sobering. Mid-size organizations routinely discover 300 to 800 apps they did not know existed. Now, let's talk about Step 6, lock down Dataverse with role-based access controls. Dataverse consulting engagements reveal the same pattern repeatedly. Dataverse was set up quickly, and access control was applied at the environment level rather than at the data level. That means anyone in the environment can read any table. In a production environment holding employee records, financial data, or patient information, that is a significant security gap. Dataverse has 4 layers of security that work together. Most implementations use environment roles and basic security roles and stop there. Column level and row level security are where regulated industries need to invest more time. A healthcare organization should never have a situation where a Power Apps user can read a patient status field they have no clinical need to see. Next up, now, Step 7, stand up a Power Platform Center of Excellence. A Power Platform Center of Excellence is the organizational structure that makes the previous 6 steps sustainable over time. Without a COE, governance is a one-time project. With one, it is an ongoing program that adapts as the platform evolves and your maker community grows. Q Services implements Power Platform Center of Excellence programs using Microsoft's COE toolkit as the foundation, layered with process design and training specific to each client's industry and maturity level. Power Platform governance prevents shadow IT through DLP policies, environment strategies, and approval workflows, but those controls need a team behind them to stay current. A functioning COE has 3 components. Next up, let's talk about how Power Automate consulting and expert partners accelerate governance. Getting governance right takes time that most internal IT teams do not have spare capacity for. A Power Automate consulting engagement focused on governance typically compresses a 6-month internal project into 6 to 8 weeks because the partner brings pre-built templates, policy frameworks, and implementation experience from previous deployments across similar industries. Bringing in a Power Platform development company makes practical sense if your organization is in any of these situations. Good Power Apps development services do not just build apps. They build with governance from day one, solutions-based development, DLP-compliant connectors, Dataverse security roles applied at the table and column level, and a handoff package that includes deployment documentation and admin runbooks. Now, let's talk about conclusion. Power Platform governance does not have to slow down your low-code program. Done well, it is what allows citizen development to scale safely rather than becoming a compliance liability. The 7 steps in this guide, from environment strategy through launching a center of excellence, give you a complete framework to build or strengthen your governance controls. Most organizations are somewhere in the middle, a few DLP policies in place, no formal ALM, and a growing list of apps no one can fully account for. If that describes your situation, start with the COE Starter Kit audit to understand what exists, then work through the steps from environment strategy forward. If you want to accelerate that process with a partner who has delivered Power Platform governance programs across healthcare, banking, and logistics organizations, Q Services offers scoped engagements matched to your current maturity level. Contact us to discuss where your governance program stands today.